Let's go.
It's stadium seats, so what does that mean? That mean it's Frizz, Gemz, and Tay, and we hot in the scene. Every platform possible, you know it's the team. To emails, the airways, down we counting the streams, it's love. To all the sports fans that's rocking the building. And when we turn, please admit that you're craving the feeling. Frizz and Gemz, please believe. You know how we rock, right? Tay with the red bottoms, now she taking the spotlight. Frizz, let's make sure we get that #1 spot tight. Cause when we rock right, we do tours, take top flights, the tailgate crazy. The fans, they amaze me. Salute to all the fans that been rocking with us lately. Love.
Stadium Seats podcast. As always, we're live here. Frizz, Gemz, and Tay bringing you all the live sports, the action from the weekend. We're here. What's up, y'all?
Hey.
What's going on?
Man, that intro is fire.
Oh my God.
Who is that?
I don't know, but he is nice.
God, man. I'm telling you.
Who did that beat?
I mean,
It's about time we got something nice.
I don't know. I'm not going to take much credit for it, but
I like that.
Get you fired up for the show, right,
Yep.
y'all?
Yep, I like it.
Man,
do
it just
this.
gets me pumped up. All right, hey, let's go. Stadium Seats. Remember, before we start, hit us up at @SeatStadium on our Twitter, and also email us at stadiumseatspodcast@gmail.com with questions, comments. Tell what you think about the show. Sound good?
Sounds
Sounds
excellent.
good.
All right, hey, speaking of Twitter, we now have reached over 300 followers on our Twitter.
Yay.
Started from the bottom, slowly making it to the top.
Mhm. So
We ain't here
think?
yet.
So what you think by the end of the year? What's your prediction on followers? Because we got some traction right now. What you think?
I don't know, man. We're about 250 in 1 week. So
I would say a little bit more than 250.
yeah, so I don't know, man. It's just exciting because we just start doing this for fun and it's just taking off. So
Yeah.
it's kind of cool. Without further ado, guys, let's dive into our show because we do have a lot to talk about today. Let's start off with our email section of the show, our segment where we talk about our fans' email. What do we got, Tay? What's up first?
We got a tweet from Brandon Hepler, and I know this is not an email, but we're going to address this anyway. He wants to talk about the Steelers, about today's game. So he said it's a good win for the Steelers, but after the smoke clears, Brandon believes there are some serious offensive play calling issues still. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
go.
All right. So today's game, it was hard to watch. Very hard to watch. There was some questionable, play calling on the Steelers side there. I thought it just seemed like Rudolph was just checking down a lot. He wasn't giving, his receivers a chance, just to, run the full route. And I don't know if that was just by game plan. I don't know if he was getting a little nervous or he was just getting used to checking it down. I know Samuels had a lot of targets there and, he was the check down guy, So, I mean, he did a good job, but it just seemed like, Rudolph didn't give his receivers enough time to, to complete their route. So my question is, was it Rudolph? Was it the game plan? Because if it's the game plan and some of those, short passes, those dinks and dunks, you can't win like that in the long run. You're going to have to give your receivers an opportunity to get open. And, Washington made some good plays, made some good catches today. So, and they were bad throws and he made good catches, but it was just it was a big red flag to me about the play calling today, especially in the last, I would say, 3 minutes of the game.
Look, I won't spend a lot of time on it.
Please do.
No, I won't spend a lot of time on this, but yeah, I definitely, he threw for 191. He was 26 for 35. One pick, one TD. Samuel's leading reception leader, 13. Okay, the most ever in Steelers history, tied for it anyway. I don't think that they're going in there and saying, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to check it down every single play because, as a defensive guy, all you're going to do is play cover 2 so you can cover the flats, right? So you got those safeties playing deep middle, okay, or deep thirds, actually. All right, but and a lot of NFL defenses play a Tampa 2 too sometimes, where that middle linebacker drops into the middle of the field. So he's not throwing to the holes where he needs to throw to, but are they allowing him to do that? That's the thing. That, like you just said, that's the question. So we don't know. We don't know what they're saying in the beginning of a game, saying, hey, this is going to be your check down for a safety valve, because he hung in the pocket well. He took some big shots. He, this is Rudolph. He scrambled away a little bit. When he rolls out, though, he's not very good at throwing the football. Okay, he's really not, but he's a pocket guy all the way. And yes, some of his throws were off. I do think that they'll try to fix it for this next week for the Rams. I think they'll come in with a different game plan. But I can feel the frustration from you, Brandon. And I felt the same way watching the game. I mean, it was just check down after check down after check down. And, I still maybe Rudolph ain't comfortable yet. Maybe that's why they're letting him do that.
Well, I guess it's a good thing that I didn't get to watch the game today, but I did say, even when he was still out with this concussion, that he might be a little bit shaky coming back in. I think they should have left Hodges in there for one more game.
Good point.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Hodges isn't scared to throw the ball down the field. I know that. So
no,
he doesn't care.
Sling it. He'll sling it all day. But and then when Rudolph did throw the ball downfield, it looked horrible. I know we had a 40-yard catch, but it looked like it got shot down 17 times before the receiver even caught it.
So is it safe to say that he didn't look very comfortable playing today?
I wouldn't say comfortable, because he was composed. It's just I don't think the guy's comfortable yet throwing the ball down the field, besides that deep long bomb that he threw to Juju early. And then, still a tough grab. I mean, and then the interception, I don't blame it on him at all. It was definitely Juju Smith. Tight window throw there, bounced off his hands into a defender's, arms. But, Brandon, we appreciate the love on the question.
Shout out to Brandon.
We hope their passing game increases. What do we got next, hey?
We have an email from Kenny Howell.
Shout out to Kenny Howell from Pittsburgh.
What's up?
What up, Kenny? Loving the fan love.
Yeah. You're going to like this one, Frizz. Kenny wants to know, why does everyone not like Lamar Jackson? Frizz, I know you have some strong feelings towards Lamar Jackson. Kenny says he is so talented, there should not be any negative feelings for this type of talent. What are your thoughts on this?
Hey, let me go real quick, Gemz. Okay. Thanks for emailing in, Kenny. We appreciate the love. You are a true fan here at Stadium Seats. Remember, hit that follow button for us, buddy. Hey,
hit it.
Why I don't like Lamar Jackson is very simple. I'm a Steeler fan. Okay? But I do recognize talent. I do. I think the guy's talented. I do not think he's a quarterback. I think he's an overhyped running back at the QB position. I don't think he throws the ball as good as all these other guys in the league. Okay, that's just my perspective and my opinion, and I'm going to stick with it. Okay, I know right now, he's got 72 yards in the air. Okay, but I don't know his rushing stats right now. I ain't going to lie to you, but they can't be the greatest because, the leading rusher of tonight's game has 97, which is Ingram. I do think that their offense is explosive because they run like that option game, but that is the only reason I dislike him as a quarterback, because I think he doesn't throw as well as these guys. Argue with me. Go.
Well, I just have to say that right now they're playing the Patriots, and his team is winning. So as far as being a glorified running back in that position, I don't know that this proves otherwise.
What do you got, Gemz?
Well, I agree with Kenny in the fact that he's a special talent, and a lot of people hate him due to the fact that he's like, a dual threat, and you get some negativity with that. All he could do is just run, and he's not a pocket passer. Well, the NFL's changing. There's a
I
lot of guys
understand
that's
that.
coming into a lot of guys are coming into the NFL that they're dual threats, and a lot of teams are making a transition to build offenses around those type of players. But I think Lamar Jackson's a very talented guy. This is actually his first, full season, under the helm there, being a leader, on the Ravens team there. We just got to give him a shot and give him a chance. He just got into the league. He's 22 years old. A lot of people will be second guessing Lamar Jackson when he does have that opportunity to show people that he'll be a pocket passer, because he'll be unstoppable. He's unstoppable right now, and he's 22, and he doesn't have any technique throwing the ball.
And it's just
so you
because
just wait. I believe in Lamar Jackson. I believe in him. You don't, but I
know.
believe in him, and we're going to have this conversation. We're going to have this conversation next season when he's going to just be destroying everybody, and defenses won't know what to do with him.
This conversation will come up again before this
Absolutely.
season ends.
But it's the RPO game. It's the option game. I mean, you never know if he's going to run pass. He got the run pass option. I mean, that's what it has come down to. I agree, Gemz. But Kenny, that's my take, and that's why I dislike him. Number one is because I think he's a runner.
You're a hater.
No, I'm not a hater. Okay. But the thing about it is I think he's going to hurt himself one time on one of these runs tonight, early in the first quarter. Hightower cleaned his clock. Like, hey, you're going to put yourself out there and you're going to scramble and you're going to run. You better get ready because there's trucks coming. So you better.
Each year, good teams, they evaluate how the previous season was, and then they always add something to the quarterbacks, the good quarterbacks out there. And Lamar Jackson, he's going to be working on his pocket passing all this year, all next year, because once he gets that down, he'll be one of the best in the NFL. If he gets that down.
Shout out Kenny Howe from Pittsburgh. You're a true fan for Stadium Seats. Thank you for the love.
He's very talented. Moving on.
What do we got next?
We have an email from Lem Dog.
Shout out Lem Dog. What's going on, man?
Shout out to Lem Dog.
Lem DOG.
Repeater emailer.
And Lem Dog, that's right. He's a repeat emailer. And Lem Dog has a question for each of us. So we're going to start with Gemz. I think it's a Mr. Lem Dog sends you much love, or it may not be a Mr. Because he goes on to say your voice brings the show all together.
All right.
You have an admirer.
Well, I appreciate that, Lem Dog.
Shout out to Lem Dog.
Yeah.
Thanks for blowing up Gemz's head.
You know what? He or she understands what I do on this show and understands the talent that I bring to the show. So thank you.
Moving on. The question is...
Don't hate, Tay. Come on now.
The question is, if Lamar Jackson can beat Tom Brady tonight, and that game is ongoing right now, what does that say for him moving forward as a quarterback / leader?
Go ahead.
We just talked about this.
He wants to know your opinion.
So moving forward, if he does win and beats the Patriots tonight, which, it's a close game now on the Patriots, or, they're about to score here. But anyway, if he does succeed tonight, that's just going to put him on the map even more as a guy that other defenses are going to have to worry about.
And I agree.
When you beat Bill Belichick's defense, I mean, they have Bill Belichick's defense is ranked number 1 in the NFL. It's a historic defense. They're comparing this defense to the great defenses from the past, or even better. So when you have a great mind, a catalyst like Bill Belichick, and you're going against Tom Brady, and these guys are 8-0, I tell you what, if you beat these guys and you're the first team to beat them, and you're a quarterback that's 22 years old, and you're going against Bill Belichick, who has a record an undefeated record of going against guys that are younger than 25. No one's ever beaten him before. That says a lot about, your play. It says a lot about your leadership and your character. So I think that moving forward, Lamar Jackson's going to, put his stamp his, what do I want to say here?
Put his mark on the.
Absolutely. Thank you for saying that.
Put his mark in the
Thanks
game.
for getting my back to it. Yeah. Definitely going to have to put his foot down and his imprint on the league if he wins this game tonight. So
no doubt.
No doubt about that. We're going to move on to Lem's email. There's a question for you too, Frizz.
All right, what is it?
Don't get too sad.
What is it?
He goes on to say, I think you're the star of the show.
Oh, heck yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Wow.
I know. I'm starting to think.
Hold on.
Wow.
Okay.
Star status.
Moving on. The question.
That's my dude right there.
What do you think about the NCAA allowing the players to get paid now regarding endorsement deals?
All right. I'll keep this kind of short, Lam. I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I don't.
Why?
Well, here's the deal. Obviously, this isn't going to go into effect maybe till 2023. And it's possibly only California, right? So yeah. I don't like it for one reason. It takes the team and we out of college football and college sports and puts it into a me deal. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
So, meaning, okay, so let's just say, Gemz, you get recruited to play basketball at UCLA, okay? But you also have some offers to go to Kentucky and Duke, right? But in Kentucky and Duke, you can't get those endorsement deals, okay? So you're going to go to play for UCLA, which isn't a better team than those two teams, right? So you got to make a decision. Now, what's going to make me upset about this is it going to persuade kids in high school and parents in high school, because they'll be allowed to hire agents and stuff like that. Shoe companies can pay them, stuff like this. And I do agree that schools get paid billions and billions of dollars and get money off of these athletes.
Exposing it, right.
But, bowl games, whatever, March Madness tournaments, college, whatever it is. But that's either here nor there. My point is it's going to take the team out of college sports. It's going to take – they got to save that for the pros. If you're gifted and talented enough to get paid for this sport, wait just until you make it to the show, if you make it to the bigs, if you make it to the league, if you make it to the NBA, whatever that is, because it's going to take – I think it's going to really tear apart college sports. This is just my take and my opinion. So I'm just addressing him on that. And I just don't like it just for the fact that it takes the team out of – it's going to take the team out of college sports. Because if I had a teammate on a college football team that was getting paid like that and I wasn't, he's going to be – am I going to be jealous? Probably a little bit, but –
yeah, but if you're on a team that if the guy or the girl is a superstar, okay, and you're not, and they're already promised to leave school early to go play and make some money. I mean, it's kind of like you're looking at it kind of like the same. Are you going to be jealous?
No, well, I'm not even saying that. I mean? I think it's going to pull apart teams. I don't think it's going to sway, like I said, I don't think it's going to sway recruitment too much. Because if it was me, or if I had a son that had the opportunity to go play football at Ohio State or LSU or Alabama, and then somebody like USC said, "Hey, we're gonna pay you to come play." I mean, obviously, I'm gonna leave it up to the kid,
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, Frizz. The thing is, if the guys that are going to be, or the guys or the women that are going to get these endorsement deals are the top players, that's going to have the draw nationwide. So it's like, if you're worried about other players, that role players that may not get that opportunity, to make some money, then that's just what it is. But the top players, the top recruits that are going to be coming in, they're going to have that opportunity to make some money. So it's not going to be a perfect world once this plan is implemented, where it opens up the playing field to players to get money. People are just going to have to deal with that. I mean, that's just the way things are going to be in that realm there. So people's going to have to come to a point where they're going to have to just accept that.
Yeah.
If you're a top recruit, it don't matter if you're going to UCLA, Kentucky, Duke, or whatever. If you're a top recruit, those endorsement deals are going to be, you're going to have that opportunity to do that. So they're just going to have to deal with it.
You mentioned this is only going to be in California?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah. At first.
At first. It'll spread though. It'll spread.
Yeah, at first. It's that's what they're trying to do right now. So, hey, Lem Dog, appreciate the love. Thanks for shouting me out. What do you got next?
By the way, he also wants you to research red bottoms.
Oh, what? Get out of here. Let me hold up.
Definitely. You were off on that one.
I was out of it that night.
And of course, we have to save the best for last. The last one is for me. Hey.
Oh man, go. What is it? What's he got?
Go.
He says, there's an NBA question. What do you think? What do I think about Golden State?
What do you think about him?
Steph Curry is out for 3 months with a broken hand, knowing also that Klay Thompson may be out for the rest of the year. And now Draymond Green has torn ligaments in his finger. Where do they go from here? And should Steph Curry even come back? Golden State, well, they're in trouble. They're not looking too good. They're 1-5. Steph Curry is out for at least 3 months, maybe longer. They got a couple more injuries. That leaves them relying heavily on D'Angelo Russell, who is their leading scorer with an average of 19 points per game. So they're in trouble. Where do they go from here? Where else? They go to their bench. Next man up.
Yeah, right. They do. You're right.
Next man up. I mean, what do you do? Should Steph Curry come back? Yes. I mean, why would he? Of course, when he's healthy and good to go, why wouldn't he come back? They obviously need him. What do you guys think?
No, you're right. You're right. You know what? That's a great point, Tay. But I'm looking at it in a way where the three top players are hurt. They're not going to rush them back. They're losing right now. I mean, they just lost to Charlotte last night. But the positive side of this thing is that, Kerr gets the opportunity to look at the young guys. This is a good time for them to gel, play. Pascal, he scored 25 points yesterday. And in his interview after the game, he was excited about scoring 25, but he said, I'd rather score 14 and win. So that's just a positive outlook with these young guys out there where it's, the Golden State Warriors, they were a dynasty for how many years, multiple championships. And this is the time to rebuild and look at their young guys. So when their core pieces come back, they'll be good to go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, shoot. I don't know if the Golden State Warriors are going to do all right.
Well, it's early in the season. So like Gemz said, it gives them a chance to, look at the younger guys coming up, and definitely their mentality, or at least the right mentality that you would want them to have, is there. So we'll see how all of that plays out. But where do they go? They go to their bench.
Well, shout out to Lem. Did Lem Dog have anything for you? Like any comments for you?
He just say, "What's up, girl?" And all I gotta say is, "Hey."
Oh, okay.
You know what? Listen. Shout out to Lem Dog and everything, because he gave all of us compliments, and that's or she, male, female, whoever it is, gave all of us compliments. But I got a question, Lem Dog, on this star of the show, because
oh god,
we need to do a poll.
I think I need to bring some cheese. I need to bring some cheese out here.
Yeah, why are you getting mad?
I'm just saying. I'm not getting mad. I'm just curious of why Lem Dog thinks that you're the star of the show, and I think we should just bring that to a poll question on the Twitter page. Why is Frizz the star of the show, or is Frizz star of the show? Why isn't Tay the star of the show? Why isn't Gemz the star of the show? Like, we need to get down to the bottom of this.
We're a team, though. We're back to the team question. It's not an I thing. It's a we. We're a group.
We're not even getting endorsements yet.
That's
Right.
true.
That's fair enough.
Hey, moving on to our topics for today. What do we got, Tay?
All right. Let's just get this over with. Let's talk about the Nationals in the World Series. The World Series title.
Hey, stand up, DC.
Stand up, DC.
I gotta admit, they did good. They did really, really good. The difference between them and the Astros is, quite honestly, their pitching just came through. Their pitching was there a lot more than the Astros, and honestly, I think they wanted it more than the Astros.
Yeah, it came down to me. It came down to an offensive deal right there.
Yeah, the Astros left way too many runners on base.
They pounded the ball in them last couple games, right. Man. The Nationals obviously hit the crap out of the baseball, and that really put a lot of extra base hits. Lots of extra base hits, big time home runs, but definitely. That's what you said. First championship in 95 years.
Right. It's finally. Also it's their first title in 95 years, amazing. And this is the first time ever that the road team has won every single game.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. So
that's the first time ever.
I mean, it's hard to win on the road. Awesome. So shout out to the Washington Nationals one more time. Sorry, Tay.
Some
tissues over there on.
Sorry, Tay. Sorry, Frizz too. Hey. Whoa! Wait a minute.
Thank you.
You're right. My prediction was wrong.
Thank you.
I did pick
for bringing.
So don't say sorry, Tay. Sorry.
She's hardcore Astros till from head to toe, So
the Nationals also they were the wild card with a 19-31 record coming into this back in May. So for them to take the title, it's impressive. I mean, I gotta give it up to them. So
wow,
it is what it is.
Shout out. We're moving on. What else we got?
Let's move on as quick as we can. We got college football coming up. Big game coming up on Saturday. Can y'all guess who?
LSU, Alabama.
Nothing else. Yeah. LSU and Alabama, number 1 versus number 2.
Mm-hmm.
What's your predictions, and what do you see? What's a big factor in this game?
I'll go first, real quick. Mm-hmm. I like LSU to win this one. Okay,
I'm going to agree with you on that.
I think Joe Burrow takes care of business. Like I said before, I think this is your Heisman winner. Okay, I look for Jefferson and Chase, their wide receivers, their top receivers, to do well. I think it's going to be a shootout. Alabama's 48 points a game. LSU's 46 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
I do think they both got good defenses. I don't think it'll be that high of a scoring game. I think LSU wins in maybe the last minutes or so, or maybe a late field goal or something like that. But I definitely like LSU here. And I think it's going to be an offensive showdown more than a defensive showdown, just because of Tua and Burrows and the two quarterbacks there. Good quarterbacks going at it. 1 versus 2. If you're a college football fan, what else could you not like about this one? I got LSU.
The Bama quarterback, he sprained his right ankle not too long ago, and this will be his first game back, correct?
Yeah, he's playing.
Well, you think he'll be ready?
I definitely think so.
You think so?
Yes. But I like LSU in this one. What do you got, Gemz?
I got Bama in this one. I like Bama's running game. I like their defense as well. I think they're going to bother LSU on the offensive side and the defensive side. Bama's going to make big stops, and I just don't know if LSU's defense can stop Bama when Bama's rolling. And another advantage, Alabama, is that it's in Alabama.
Yeah, I know.
And once the Roll Tide get rolling, it's tough to play down there. We got to absolutely, and we got to see about Tua. I think he's going to play, and if he's healthy enough to move around and be himself, that's just another advantage at Alabama when it comes to winning this game here. I got Alabama winning by 15. I'm not looking at 1 versus 2. The history. I mean, these two teams been going at it for years, and this is going to be the most exciting game, I think. in the regular season in college football this season. So, but I just think that Bama is more dominant at defense in the run game. Watch out for Bama's run game. It's going to be crucial.
I like LSU. I'm taking the underdog.
I'm going to take LSU on this one too.
Minus
I just
7 Bama.
Don't think that their quarterback will be 100%. Bama's quarterback will be there. I don't know.
Well, that's why they got that run game.
We got going?
We'll see.
We got PSU versus Minnesota.
All right, number 5 versus number 13, both 8-0. Those are your two most intriguing games that we wanted to touch upon. I got the Nittany Lions, man. I believe in Clifford. I think they stay in the playoff race with this win. Minnesota, haven't watched them yet this year. I mean, obviously they're undefeated for a reason. This will be their biggest test of the year. I know they got an outstanding running game with Smith running the ball over there in Minnesota, but I just like the Penn State defense, best in the country. They play with fire and energy. I know they're going to Minnesota, but give me Penn State. Go Nittany Lions. Let's go.
We'll see about that. I'm undecided on that one. Go ahead, Gemz.
I'm going to go with Penn State. I'm going to have to agree with Frizz on this one. Just their defense. It just seems like their defense always comes up with a big play and takes the offense out, of rhythm and out of their continuity of wanting to do things. So I got Penn State. Clifford, he's been playing really, really well. And Hamler, am I correct? He's just a talent. He's box office. You just have to watch that guy. And that tight end of Penn State, he's another one you got to watch. They just have a lot of talent, a lot of pieces, and they gel together. They play very well together offensively and the defensive side. I just think I'm just a little nervous that it's Minnesota, even though Minnesota's 8-0. Minnesota, they're still considered an underdog, and people expect Penn State to win. So this could be like a kind of a trap game for Penn State. So they're going to have to come out with that intensity because, again, they got a couple more games until they meet Ohio State, and that's going to be the big one. So, but I got Penn State pulling through.
Okay, let's see how that plays out.
Me and Gemz agree on something. That's crazy. Go Nittany Lion Nation.
Go Gemz.
Big news.
Oh, this is crazy.
Big news. Big turning point in the NFL. The Dolphins got their first win. They beat the Jets.
Shout out to the Dolphins.
You go, Dolphins.
Shout out to the Fins.
Get you some.
I believed in them. I told y'all they have to win one game. I kept telling y'all.
I think
going crazy. They're going crazy on Ocean Drive right now.
They're A1A. They're having a good time down there, right? They're not.
Yeah, call a cab.
Get an
Let's
Uber.
Go.
Get an Uber. Let's go. Hey, the Dolphins won today to get their first win over the Jets, which was absolutely mind-boggling to me. But you can never count out Fitzpatrick. Sometimes he looks great. Sometimes he doesn't. He threw for 300 yards pretty much, 3 TDs. They don't really have a running back. And speaking of tight ends from Penn State, Mike Gesicki from Penn State, the rookie, he tore it up today with 95 yards and a TD. I just didn't think that they would beat Sam Darnold and Le'Veon Bell and, those guys. But
never say never.
Are the Jets that bad, though?
They're definitely the worst in the league right now, and I just don't think they care that they are. So
no, they don't.
So the Jets.
Shout out to the fans, though.
New York Jets, you're done.
Done.
Speaking of done.
Oh, here we go. What do we got next?
Speaking of done, let's talk about Antonio Brown.
Man, I hate talking about this guy, but we got to.
Oh, relax. Tag.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just stopping him because he was about to say something. Go ahead.
There's some reports indicating that the Seahawks were considering signing him. Will Antonio Brown play again this season?
Go ahead, Gemz. I don't even want to talk about AB.
Well, don't,
I'll just
Frizz,
say
don't.
something when you're done,
Um,
but go.
okay, yeah. I think he'll play once his situation is wrapped up, the investigation. They're not
Right.
complete with that, but we're hearing that there's 3 teams that are very, very interested in one of the teams. Where is Seattle? Because I guess they wanted him over Gordon, and since his investigation wasn't complete, then they got Gordon, but they still want him. So, that would be a good receiving core adding Antonio
Big
Brown to that
time.
mix. But yeah, I mean, he's still a great talent. But we'll see. I think if the season's still in play or there's a playoff team out there, and depends on his
I know.
Man,
it just depends. It just
I
depends
just
on if the
As
investigation
as
is
much
done.
as much as I hate talking about AB all the time because he just loves to stay in the news. I mean, I mad that Pittsburgh that he left? Yeah, I was. I was a big AB guy, until his ego started going the opposite way and he kind of strayed away from being great like what he does. So obviously, he went through several things. But I agree with you, man. I still think he's definitely one of the top 3 in the league, even though he's not in the league right now. The guy's work ethic is amazing, but he needs some.
It
I mean,
is.
I do hope he gets his head on straight and does go back in and, at least for something. But I just can't believe there's reports where he's still trying to get back into the league and teams are really considering.
No, no,
well,
Teams are
no, no,
considering.
I,
no, no,
I
no.
did see one of his
The-
tweets not too long ago, maybe earlier in the week or last week, where he's tweeting that he's having to do everything himself, from cleaning to cooking his own meals to putting together
Because
his
he
own
don't pay his
workouts.
cooks.
Yeah, no brainer there. Being his own nanny, that
Because he
he's
got
like,
7 kids.
oh. So I mean,
I guess I don't know.
I don't know how many he has, but that he's having to do everything himself. Well, when you don't pay people and you're running out of money, what do you think is going to happen? So he's definitely trying to get back into the league. I did see a report that the XFL was not interested in him either. Um, I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him. He is a great athlete. He's got very good work ethic. He works hard. He just needs to shut up and play.
Right. There you go, Tay. I
Hey,
like
let's
it.
go run down a couple
Hey,
scores
I have
for
a
today.
question.
Go ahead.
I have a question. Speaking of that, Le'Veon Bell. So, I read reports that the Steelers are in talks to bringing him back.
No, apparently
No.
to Mike Tomlin today after the press conference, they did ask that. They had no, how the media goes, but they were a little, banged up at running back. But nah, not going to happen. Le'Veon Bell stay in New York. I know he has no ties, no bad ties really with Pittsburgh besides a contract issue, but nah, that ain't going to happen.
Moving on.
Hey, some scores real quick. The Chiefs won a big game today, so they stayed, in the hunt without Mahomes. That was a huge game. I know you picked the Vikings today, Gemz, but that went down to the wire. The Eagles beat the Bears. Okay, Bears are in trouble, right? And
Yep.
I'm just giving a shout out one more time to my Pittsburgh Steelers, who definitely won a game. A W is a W. Good job. And the Raiders definitely still showing that they are an outside playoff team, beating the Lions today.
They beat the Lions.
They did.
Big win.
The Seahawks struggled a little bit at the end. They won in OT against Tampa Bay. Don't sleep on Tampa Bay.
Wow.
And my gunshot of the week goes to the Cleveland Browns, losing again to a Broncos team that had a QB in there that
nobody knows.
not really. And so
The Brandon Allen, right? He did very
in
good.
He did. In the most surprising game to me, which you, Gemz, I'm giving you props. I don't know why I am, but the Packers today lost to the Chargers, and Phillip Rivers did his thing over there in LA. So, shout out there.
Well, that's due to research. That's due to research. and really knowing the game. So thank you.
Hey, real
Thank
quick,
you.
there's
I
an
picked the
update
Chargers, too.
before we get out of here.
Did you hear me? I picked the Chargers too.
Yeah, I know you did. You guys did it.
Well, show Tay some love. Show Tay some love.
Thank you.
Oh, girl. New England just fumbled, by the way. They recovered it, and Baltimore just housed it. Touchdown, Baltimore. Hey,
way to go, Lamar Jackson.
It wasn't him.
Oh, it's still his team.
Here you go.
Hey, hit us up at Seats Stadium on our Twitter. We're up to 300 and some followers. Keep following us. Tweet us out messages. DM us. Email us at stadiumseatspodcast@gmail.com.
Are we going to do a photo shoot?
We need to.
Yes, we're going to do a photo shoot in November. Late November, early December.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be hard.
Why?
No, that's awesome. I mean, it's funny. Photo shoot, man.
It's called a photo sesh.
So real quick before we end this, what is this photo shoot for? Twitter or what?
For promoting.
What do you mean?
Marketing.
Yeah. I think we should have a photo shoot and get the glam team in there.
Yeah,
right?
let's get that glam team up.
That's right. Glam it up.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Be ready,
Hey, this is Frizz, Gemz, and Tay. Stadium Seats Podcast. We love you guys. We love the fans. Hit us up, man. Listen to our show.
Who do you love?
We're out of here. Fire!
It's Stadium Seats, so what can I say? It's the end of the show with Gemz, Frizz, and Tay. So tune in the next week, we bringing the heat. And subscribe to the page, we hot in the street at Seat Stadium. The Twitter be that Tay. With the topics, she's bringing the facts. With the style so great and the swag so bomb. Stadium Seat Podcast at gmail.com. Love.